goats that we're in right now were born around the 1st of January through the middle of January. We wean at about 60 days old, so 2 months old. And what that process is a process of pulling the does back off feed so they produce less milk, and the babies in turn become less dependent on the doe's milk and more and get going on their creek feed and their pelleted feed, so we can make that transition really smooth to have little to no stress on the babies because they slowly work their way onto eating enough pellets to keep them going and being strong. And then also it dries up the doe's udder so they don't have mastitis problems that can lead to them losing their ability to produce milk. One of our primary functions is to kind of sort some out that we can get ready to sell. And some of these goats in here will be sold at the premier goat sale in Indianapolis at the end of the month. And we've had visitors through the last couple weeks taking a look at everything we have to offer for 4-H projects and breeding projects and that type of thing. So it's really critical that we start working with the goats to tame them down. We work on making them brace and stand still while we set their legs, getting them to lead, just overall getting them used to people being around them all the time so they jump less when they're in the pen. And it will be a smoother transition for whoever takes ownership for them after the sales. So this group of kids is a group of embryo transfer kids that we are getting ready for on-farm sales that we'll be hosting in April. We utilized embryo transfer for the first time this year to what I feel like is fairly good success. We flushed 2 donor does that yielded 21 fertilized embryos, and then we implanted those into 10 recipient does, and we ended up getting 10 kids out of that flush group. The reason we do that is to try to perpetuate what we feel like are the superior genetics in our herd to produce better, higher quality kids, so that way we have better stock to offer for sale to our customers and to our 4-H members who are looking for high quality, competitive 4-H projects. And this is kind of the same as our other group that we're just working on taming down, teaching them how to show and how to walk and just getting used to people, while also making sure that their health is exactly where it needs to be, that they're eating a lot, growing fast, and doing all those kind of market characteristics that we still seek to have in our show goats.